petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want. I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. Your mouth, I do the Maybach on Monday, Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
Hey. Okay. Okay. Pocket through big day sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo. You act too kudo. You and no Chad Hugo. Pocket through big day sumo. 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 Pull card like Uno. Flip like judo. You act too kudo. You and no Chad Hugo.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. 2-1 loss team set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hey, tempo, tempo, tempo.
Wilson now off the bootleg. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
14, run it. Run it.
Again to Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Play action. Now Wilson on the move to his left. Man open left side is Brown. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. The give is to Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. Now Elliott, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They get it to him running left. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Play action. It's Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
You know, talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Yeah, you know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Hey, it's yo.
Keenum now on 1st down. Going underneath for Crowell. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. they become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
We're good. Very left.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On 2nd down, Elliott wiggles free, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Let's go get it right here. Come on.
Wilson now, off the bootleg, rolling to his right. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On 1st and 10, Keenum. And incomplete on the deep ball. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Well, earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
no
yardage.
yardage. Okay.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Smith coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Finding Gabriel complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. Off the bootleg. Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And this one is no good. He missed it. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Suckup will put this one right through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big time.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And an alley to run. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Keenum. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout. And they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Suckup will put this one right through. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now Keenum throwing on second. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, Keenum. Complete. This is Albert Wilson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They are going for it. Keenum. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a handoff to Crowell. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Now Keenum. Hard throw, incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Keenum now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Crowell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. They'll run it again with Crowell. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? you're taking charge.
The handoff running left, Corral. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. The pitch to Corral. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
To throw on second down, Wilson. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Wilson to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Keenum to throw. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And I think the ball's out. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. To throw is Keenum. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That's complete to Cobb. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Marquette King now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now out comes Minnesota. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Only 1 timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have 1 timeout left. And that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch. Not at all.
Oh, not running. Keenum wants to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Eagles, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time.